My 1993 Toyota Supra was possibly one of the worst in the country, and it has went from being an absolute basket case to looking like a showstopper. And now today, you're going to get to see the process of building an engine that can handle 1,000 horsepower. Because we're gonna fly out to my friend Dave over in New Jersey at Head Games to build the cylinder head. Now Dave is world renowned for being part of some of the fastest Supra builds around. Now I don't have much time, I need to pack up right now, literally grabbing my backpack and heading over to the airport and flying out right now. And we're gonna head over to Dave and we're gonna get this thing that much closer to 1,000 horsepower. And I'm really pumped to be learning from one of the best, and you guys are coming with me, so let's get out of here now.
Right about now, you guys can hit that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. That really helps me out. Also, there's a brand new hype button down in the description. Check that out, hit those too, it helps new channels, and it's totally free to do.
I am over here now at Head Games with Dave and Matt, and we are going to put together my 2JZ head today. We're also gonna mess with a few other things. We're gonna talk about a lot of the process that it takes to make 1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower?
We took a trip up here and I got here literally this morning. We're gonna build the head today. We're gonna go through every single one of the stations, and these guys here are gonna let me get dirty. I'm gonna do something. Hopefully I don't break it.
Dirty. You're gonna get dirty.
I'm gonna smell next to the guy on the plane, I'm sorry. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what we do here, so let's get started building the head. What are we doing now?
I'm gonna pretend that this is a 2JZ head, even though it is a BMW head and it's already disassembled. This is the disassembly area. What happens here is the head comes in, and it gets disassembled, it gets cleaned, and it gets inspected. So it's gonna get spray washed. The spray washer has this piece here. Chuck the head up in here. All these little water jackets, water nozzles, whatever you want to call
Water sprayer thingies.
Water sprayer thingies. Spray the cylinder head, get all the oil off of it, and it makes it for you can actually see what you're looking at.
How hot does this actually get?
This gets 200 and something degrees. And we also have an ultrasonic machine. This is a wet soda blaster. So you can actually put sand in this as well. You can put any media in it, but we use soda, and you can see soda because it's everywhere around here. It's white. All right, so we're still gonna use our imagination and pretend that there's valve springs still in it. And this is the machine that we use for that. Now this is a manual version. We actually have a pneumatic version as well. So it's gonna come down and it is going to push this valve spring down so you don't have to do it manually.
Yeah, levers.
Depending on the job, it's gonna see the CNC after it gets all cleaned up. Second inspection, it'll go back into that cleaning section, gets ready, guides knocked out of it. We're gonna show you that too. But it'll come into the CNC area, and Matt's gonna show you a little bit about your CNC stuff.
I have zero time in the shop, and pen and paper just doesn't cut it anymore. And thanks to today's sponsor, Plaud, I'm starting to get these things under control. Plaud is about a key-sized capsule that is easy to wear in 4 different ways. The magnetic clip attaches easily to your outfit, bag, or even a workbench. One press and it captures up to 20 hours of crystal clear audio. In my shop, Plaud saves me hours. I can capture all of the parts into a list with the part numbers, and then Plaud breaks that down into an organized, transcribed list so that it's easy for me to go through and make sure I get everything that I need.
This is parts that I need to order for my 2JZ engine. Number 1, engine overhaul gasket kit.
And Plaud NotePin can run all day, 20 hours of continuous capture, 40 days of standby, and 64 gigabytes of storage. With the new Ask Plaud feature, I can search across past captures and find anything that I need to know right away, rather than going back and trying to check through all of my notes. Find me the engine overhaul kit part number in my notes. Box 1 is the engine bolts. Plaud App 3.0 also adds multimodal capture. While recording audio, I can snap a photo of a vehicle's damage or jot quick notes. Everything stays linked, so when I check back later, I see sound, the pictures, and the highlights all in one place. It's safe, it's private, and it's built for professionals. Stop writing, start capturing. The Plaud NotePin is already changing the way people work, and it's selling fast. Hit the link in the description, use my code, and start experiencing the future of note-taking today.
This is all the programming side over here on the computer, so you can actually see the fixture plate brought in, and these are actually the ports that we're running on 2JZ cores for our pocket port program. We bring in chambers separately, but this is the base of how everything gets tool path. You can actually see in here all the tool paths come through the surfaces we built, and these little blue lines in between are actually how the tip of the tool is going to be interpolating throughout the port in order to cut it.
I like that word. I interpolate bodywork all day long.
This is how everything gets set up. You can see the fixture plate down here, our tooling up top, and where the head actually gets bolted to. And from here you would come over to the console and you would start picking out your programs that we loaded in and start running a core.
Basically, you just push a button, you sit down, and you relax.
Oh yeah, that's all of it. That's easy as that. So we can actually run this. Do you want to press the button?
I love pressing buttons.
Press that green button right there, and this is going to start moving around.
All right. Dude, that's really cool. These machines are so cool. A little blurry, but you guys get the idea. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. This is the first step, you would say, in the shop before it goes to other places, or?
Yeah, so the way we have things running around, most things see the CNC first, get all of the machining work out of the way, and then it'll go over to valve job, because that's the next big piece of machining work.
Matt missed a section. He said that we go to valve job, but first it goes to valve guides. We remove the valve guide on every build, especially if it's going to go through a CNC or it's getting any kind of aftermarket valve train, because we want to size the guide correctly. So the first step after the CNC is we're going to put GSC bronze guides in, and then we're going to size them. We have a Goodson driver for you, a valve guide driver. And I found my old Harbor Freight air hammer. I'm going to let you do this. The cool thing about a GSC valve guide is that it has a stopper on it, and that stopper is so you're always at the correct height. You don't have to bust out the caliper to figure out what height you're at.
That's a high-tech caliper there.
This is the best you can get from Pittsburgh.
You think they make it in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh, China.
Yeah, maybe Pittsburgh, China. Funny thing about calipers is a lot of people think that a caliper is a precision tool, and it's not actually. A caliper, really a caliper, what we use it around here is we already kind of know what the measurement needs to be. So a caliper in and of itself is an inaccurate tool. It's accurate within 7/1000ths of an inch, which is a lot. That's big for here. So anything else you want to know the number, you're going to bust out a micrometer, but this is perfectly fine for pretty much anything you're going to do. So I'm going to get you to put the valve guide in. We're going to take this guide. Now a guide needs to be resized. Whenever you buy a valve guide, it comes in this neat little package, but these are not actually to size right from the get-go. On a 2J, the press fit is not that much, so you can actually not heat the head up. Sometimes we have to heat the head up, but we can just freeze the guide and slide it in there with some lube, and we'll be good to go.
That's what she said.
All right, so now that thing's frozen.
All right, slowly.
Ready?
I'm gonna hold this so I don't. Think that's in? That's it. There we go.
That's in.
Now I am Jack Builds It, but I'm also Jack the Machinist. Just so you guys know, you can just hit the link down below. If you need work done, I'm not your guy. What are we going to do right now?
And that this is your 2JZ ready to get the valve guide reamed. We're going to use this tool here. We get them made to the custom size because whenever you use an aftermarket valve, they're not all the same size. So a Ferrea, a GSC, a SuperTech, all the different brands have different size stem diameters. So what I'm saying is that the valve stem here is different between an aftermarket and an OEM. So what we got here is a piloted reamer. This part here goes into the valve guide and it centers the reamer, and then it sizes the guide. And that way, when we get these custom made, it's made pretty much for the manufacturer that we're going to be using them for. So a lot of the stuff's GSC, so we have this preset into the reamer, and we just ream it, and we know it's the size, and we don't have to worry about it.
So getting ready for valve job, we're gonna take a look at our tool bodies. This is our intake cutter. We have a custom cutter on both of these right now, but one is gonna get set to your intake valve. You're going to reference your 45. You're actually gonna put this all the way up to the tip. You're gonna get a reference point here, and then you're going to use your pilot, which actually goes into the guide once you're valve jobbing. You're gonna set this in here, and you're going to adjust your cutter to the 45 point that you just made. Once your cutter is made, you're gonna come over to the head, get your pilot in, make sure it's nice and tight, no wiggle. You're gonna get your cutter in, nice little click, and then you're ready to start valve jobbing.
So why do they call it valve job and not rim job? Because you're technically just removing the rim of the valve.
We're doing a lot more. We're touching the throat. It's more than just the rim.
Now I'm gonna take my my chances here and do a valve job.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run through the first seat just so you got a reference of like what you're looking for, what this cutter is actually going to do to the valve seat, and then we're gonna give you a crack at it. Just know that if you go too deep with this, it's no longer a new core, it's a repaired core. Your quick rundown, the spindle is on a floating head, so it's all just controlled by a button. And now this head can actually shift around.
Oh, cool.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the cutter, the center of the tool body, we're gonna drop it over our pilot. You can see we're already pretty set up here. You can see the angles up top, and we're gonna lock this in. There's a rapid feed wheel, and then once you actually lock this in, there's a fine feed knob on the side. But we're gonna set our RPMs here, and we're gonna start cutting. So you can see the Sharpie marks actually coming off.
Yeah, oh, cool.
After we cut the first seat, we're gonna get our valve. We're gonna put some valve grinding compound on here. We're gonna come through, actually lap the valve in, and we're gonna check our lap line on our valve. So you can see our lap line all the way at the top of the 45 towards the face. This is something that we set. This maximizes the size of this valve while it's sealing. Something OEM would actually be further back on the 45, and it would have a larger top cut on the seat instead of having the 45 pushed out all the way.
So does that bring the valve lower than inside of here?
It will push the valve a little deeper inside the chamber.
Okay.
But this is what's gonna maximize your airflow out of a valve.
It basically mimics having a larger valve.
Greg over at GSC supplied us with every single part for the head, and I have to give a huge thank you to him. We are definitely going to be visiting him here in the future. I want to go over there and learn the process of making a cam. I just want to give another huge thanks to Dave and Matt for helping me and letting me learn along the way. This was a really cool process, and we got to figure out exactly how our head was being built. And this is good because it gives me a lot of information going further forward when I build the next one. And yes, I will be building another 2JZ. It might be a 1J, I'm not sure yet, but I definitely have an idea for what car it's gonna go in. You guys are gonna have to wait to see that though.
We're gonna check the first two seats that I cut and that Jack cut. Come up, you'll get a reading. We're sitting at 1,511. Next hole over, sitting at 1,510.
Nice.
So these two are actually right in range of each other. For a build like this, we're gonna set it to a 3 thou range across the entire side of the head. For less horsepower builds, lower horsepower builds, we'll increase that a little bit because everything can actually be fixed up top, taking material off of the tip of the valve.
While I go over to another station to learn about some other things, Matt finishes up the valve job and decks the cylinder head flat. This is a really cool tool. It's called a Buxton Valve Spring Tester. This will let you know how much boost your springs will be able to handle before they completely collapse, leaving you with a bad day. Dave takes me over to this machine and shows me exactly how to set your valve lash so that you get the exact height that you need on your cams. We're going to be running dual springs on this cylinder head as well as brand new valves. I am really excited to hear this thing scream. Look at how shiny they are, because they're not going to be that shiny when this thing is flooring it on the dyno. This is the pneumatic spring compressor we were talking about earlier that you use to compress your springs and set your retainers in place. Not easy, this guy makes it look simple. We have our brand new GSC buckets going into place, and as you can see right here, we have the cam clearance on the head. Here Dave shows me exactly how to clearance your cams and your buckets to make sure they're in the right place.
All right, so let me explain what I did for you, Jack. So I want to show you a couple different levels of cylinder head here so you get an idea of what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. This here is our basic pocket port, and pocket porting is porting the area underneath the valve seat and doing the short side radius. It's done in the CNC, and that is the most crucial area of any cylinder head on the planet. It's going to pick up by resizing this area in relation to the size of the valve. So it has to be like to a certain percentage of the size of the valve. The runner itself stays stock. So you still have the stock intake and exhaust runner, and this one we leave the stock chamber. This is good up to, I would say, 1,000 horsepower. And 1,000, actually even at 800-ish, guys are gonna be running pump gas, and they're gonna want to run a little bit more timing, but the problem is that these edges here on the corners of the chamber, they can become detonation points because they're gonna get hot. These are the hot spots. So what we do is we reshape the combustion chamber, and this is what we call our pocket port R. This is what we did for you. If you're gonna run pump gas, you can run a little bit more timing. It's gonna lower your EGTs, and you're gonna be able to run a little bit more boost than you would if you had this guy.
So basically, it's a safety. It's
safety. Yes, you want to make it so you can make it more reliable. It can make the same power at a lower boost level, and you can run more timing, and all around a better deal than just that. Now this is just an example of a ported head. This is actually a race ported head. It's going to Sweden. We got rid of the water jackets. It's 1/2-inch stud. This is the upper echelon of what you're going to get, but a CNC ported head, either way, this is what we're talking about, where it goes into the intake runner, the exhaust runner gets reshaped. So you can see here that the intake runner, OEM, and then we move over to the ported head, and everything gets reshaped, resized, and this is for, I would do this at 1,200 horsepower plus. This is a great option because, again, you can make the same power at a lower boost level, and you don't have to worry about really cranking on the boost and making the thing unreliable.
Man, this is artwork right here. That looks so nice. That's pretty freaking cool.
This is the same head set world record since 2002, 3.
Damn.
And yeah, it's worked out really, really well.
You have your fun limiter, right? So your fun limiter is where you want to stop going, right? But you also want to be able to touch that, a little bit over here, but you want to be over here all the time in the safe zone.
Yeah, I mean,
that makes no sense, but I thought that was cool.
But no, it's very true, because what happens here is if you go to the full port and you're not making enough power, it's going to make it lazy. So if you were making 1,000 horsepower and you put a fully ported head on it, the likeliness that it is going to be lazy is very good. And you don't want a lazy car. You want something that's like really peppy, really fun to drive, really fun to beat the crap out of. And that is not when you're going to do it. Don't get me wrong, you're making 1,200 plus, the full port's going to make it so it is still snappy. It jumps and boosts faster, but it's not going to do it at that lower power. You're only going to hurt it. So when you're going to do a CNC port, it doesn't just port the head. You can't just stick the head in there and it magically thinks it knows what to do, and it's always going to come out the same. Every head's different. It's a casting. That's the first part. Second part is it has to be done by hand first, and then it gets digitized in the machine, and then you became a CNC port. So here is the Head Games 3-core Super Spiral Burr. And now this is obviously not a 2J, but we're doing FA24. I'm going to come in here with a grinder, and I'm going to reshape this whole area here. And once I reshape this area here, we can go into digitizing it. And you can check out our videos on our channel about digitizing the 2JZ, and actually digitizing almost every head that we do. we always put up like a whole montage of digitizing and how it goes from a hand port to the CNC.
All right, I just want to give a huge thanks to the guys here at Head Games, Dave, the owner, Matt for staying here, helping me with so much stuff. We got a lot of work done. We didn't get to fully assemble it just yet, but by the end of next week, it should be finished and heading back my way. Once we get that thing done, we're gonna put that on the engine dyno, and then we're gonna make some serious power.
On my way back home, I got some news that it was time to get into the shop so that we could build the short block. It's moving along fast.
Now I'd like to give a huge thank to Mark over here at Mazworx for letting me come over here and be a fly on the wall while they are building my engine. These are all things that I'm very new to, and I'm really excited to see a lot of this stuff happen. And this is cool. I'm very lucky and very blessed. And thank you guys so much for your support. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, do that right now, because this is what helps me do that. I really appreciate you guys. Let's get to building this engine.
Fresh out of the machine shop and into the engine room, we have a beautiful looking block. Now we have CP Carrillo pistons along with BC rods, as well as King bearings going into this engine. And that is thanks to all three of those companies coming together and helping out the JackBuildsIt channel. If it wasn't for support from companies like these, the Supra would not be possible. And I am really thankful for everyone who has put their parts into this to make this thing an amazing build. First thing now, Miguel makes sure that there is no more debris left in the crank. Now he uses some red Loctite on some Allen key bolts, and then he goes ahead and seals up the areas that are freshly tapped to make sure that all of the debris was pushed through the crank and not remaining in there. With the main caps removed and the bearings in place, now some engine assembly lube is applied so that on startup you have no issues with the bearings being scored or damaged. More engine assembly lube is better than less. You want to make sure that you have every surface covered that is going to receive friction on startup. These Real Street billet main caps really do look absolutely amazing. And the cool thing is, Mark Mazworowski, owner of Mazworx, has a robot arm that works consistently all night making these parts. With the main caps in place, Miguel starts to torque these down in a specific pattern in a series of steps. This tool here is used to measure how much the crank moves front to back, and as you can see, it barely moves. This is good, because if it moved too much, that would cause some major damage to the bearings. I cannot lie, seeing these pistons go into place is an amazing feeling, because man, have we come a long way on this car. This has gone from one of the worst Supras to quite possibly one of the nicest now. And I am really, really thankful for all of you out there supporting this build. Without you, I couldn't do this. I just want to give a huge thanks to everybody over at Real Street for all of their help. Without anyone there, it would not be possible. Whether it was the guys building the engines, the owners helping me out, everyone there did their part to make this possible, and I am extremely grateful to work together with such an amazing team. You guys are awesome. Everyone there, when I come in, you let me do my thing, which is act like an idiot on camera, and I get to film and build some of the coolest stuff ever. Thank you guys.
Well guys, we're back. It's been an insane couple of weeks, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for all of your support. Without you, this would not be possible. And we are about to do something next week absolutely amazing. We're not going to make 1,000 horsepower. We're going to make more. Because why not? Because we can. And yeah, pretty soon this car is going to be on the ground and rolling. I mean, dude, look at where we've come from. The journey started with possibly one of the worst Supras. I have goosebumps right now, guys. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick that up, but this thing came from the worst Supra to now one of the nicest, and I couldn't be happier with the car. But there's still a lot of work to go. So, got to keep moving, get the suspension in, put this thing on the ground. We're building the engine, we're putting that together, we're putting it on the engine dyno, getting that in the car, tuning the car, and then to the biggest show in the world in Las Vegas, the SEMA show. We've got about 35 days left. I got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
1,000 horsepower?
Yes. I love it.